Big news update for you guys. First one for 2024, and we're going to go back and have a look at a few things that has happened over the last week. I managed to take some time off, thankfully, and to get some rest and relaxation away from the internet. Yes, it is possible. It did drive me a little bit batty, but hey, I'm still here. I'm still alive. My sanity is still with me. Really hard to get away from the internet these days. Anyway, let's get into these news items. I've got a little bit of an update around the SEC's announcement of the Bitcoin ETF, as well as some other really cool projects in the Cardano ecosystem, including Axo and someone buying one Axo token for 50k ADA. So we're going to look into that, and I'll show you guys what you need to be doing if you want to place orders at the moment. And these are limit orders, not market orders. So let's get into the news updates. So this first one here is around the Bitcoin ETF and the announcement from the SEC saying that the Bitcoin ETF has been approved subject to ongoing surveillance and compliance measures. Yeah, okay, that was interesting. I was fast asleep at this point, but that tweet has then since been deleted. This post has been deleted. And this is because apparently the account had been hacked, had been compromised, and someone put out that tweet to manipulate the market and buy Bitcoin low, sell it high with the pump that would have happened. And then from that point, we could see subsequent sell orders happen. And who actually did this? Was it someone at the SEC? We don't know, but I did see a tweet come from Twitter itself who were looking into the compromise of the account. So maybe it is legitimate. Someone did socially engineer and get access to the SEC's Twitter account for that announcement. But this is the post here from Gary a little bit later. The SEC Twitter account was compromised and an unauthorized tweet was posted. The SEC has not approved the listings and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. So unfortunate news, really unfortunate, but have a look at what it did to the price. So here you can see, this is probably when the Bitcoin ETF news came out. You see this massive spike here going from 46,734 all the way up to an extra 47,893. And then you can see the sell orders right after. So the scammers, the hackers, whoever it was, would have seen that massive spike up, take the profit straight away, cash out, and then that dumping would have triggered a whole lot of sell orders. And here we are now back down to 45, just over under 46,000. Far out. Don't we love crypto Twitter? Things like this happen all the time. Who is to blame here? We'll find out in due course. But the memes are brutal. The SEC, when you invest in crypto, don't invest in crypto. And then the SEC, when you manipulate the market, it's all roses, or whatever this flower is. Also saw this one here. This is kind of nice. When something like this happens, it unites the crypto ecosystem. And this is probably one thing that all of our siloed maxis in the crypto space can agree on, making fun of the SEC. Let me just zoom in a little bit there for you guys. It is something that I think we can all rally around at the moment. Anyway, so the SEC has not approved the spot Bitcoin ETF for trading at the moment, as far as we know. I saw an announcement about 15 or so hours ago from the time of recording this that there are still some papers and things being submitted by the various entities that are looking at doing it. So we still may be a little bit further away from actually seeing a potential Bitcoin ETF. But far out, that's something to wake up to and see that news. Well, let's get into these other news updates here. Now, I'd just like to remind people there are a lot of scams going on at the moment, and there are these airdrop scams that are going around. These ones are specific for the Cardano ecosystem, where they will drop a token into your wallet. The token has a little bit of information here. Do not go to this website. I didn't have time to wipe this out, but that is a scammer's website. You go there, connect your wallet, and sign a transaction, and you'll lose everything in your wallet. Do not do it. But the good thing about this is, to get this token into someone's wallet, the scam would have to pay a little bit of ADA with this token. So each time the scammer is sending out these scams, they're actually paying you a little bit of ADA. So in one way, I'd like to see more of these scam tokens out, because you gain a little bit of ADA each time they send it out. It is costly, and that was designed on purpose on the Cardano ecosystem. You do have to pay that ADA with every token that you send out. So that's kind of a good thing. So it is costing them a little bit of money, but do not fall for these scams, please. There's plenty of them going around at the moment. There's also scams where people get impersonated on Twitter and Discord and all that. I think I've made my Twitter profile as unappealing as possible for scammers. So they'll copy the Twitter banner, they'll copy the profile picture, they'll copy the name and also the bio. So everything there, beware of scammers. Check my username, check my join date, look for the verification badge so you know that's authentic, it's the real me. I will not DM you. I don't reply to my DMs either. Sorry for all those people that have DM'd me. I'll eventually get back to you at some point in time, but there's just too many messages at the moment. But yeah, please be aware of these scammers. Next news item here is around Token Allies. Token Allies is a decentralized VC fund, venture capital fund building on Cardano, where the community are the ones that control which projects should be funded. So it's kind of like a mini Project Catalyst. Project Catalyst is the community way of funding various projects using the Cardano treasury. This is using funds from the community instead, but again, then going through a very similar process of voting on various projects that submit to Token Allies. So very cool to see that these guys are now at the private testnet era of their protocol to make this all happen. If you're interested in joining their ecosystem and learning a little bit more, they have a Google form here that you can check out, and you can find out a little bit more about how the testnet is going, have a play with it, and give the team there a little bit of feedback. I have done interviews with the guys as well, so check in the show notes down below. I'll put a link to the previous interview that I did that talks all about Token Allies. They also have a white paper, so this is a link to the white paper. Again, I'll put it in the show notes for you guys so you can learn a little bit more about how it all works. They have 3 different NFT tokens that are out that you can be a part of. One of them is to actually have voting power in the ecosystem, one to be a part of the launch pad, and all sorts of things. So it is a bit more of a platform that you do need to get an understanding of to be able to be a part of. So all the links down below. Please check out that video. It really goes through everything in detail. Now, this is a reminder for you guys. We got Fund 11 voting registration coming up on the 15th of January. You'll be able to register your Cardano wallets for voting in this next round of Project Catalyst. You do get rewarded for voting. So it's, I don't know how much ADA it is, but the MinSwap team managed to get quite a lot of ADA for voting. So it is worthwhile participating in the ecosystem. You do get rewarded for it. Now, it is done by voting power, so the amount of ADA that you have in your wallet is your voting power. So if you have multiple wallets, you may want to consolidate some of your ADA for a little while so that you can register your wallet, be ready for the snapshot where it records how much ADA you have within your wallet at that point in time, and that will be used as your voting power on the voting app itself. That will come later down the track. I do have a whole bunch of interviews coming up as well with various projects that are doing Catalyst proposals and do need exposure and votes for. I've done these ones a little bit differently. They won't be just hey, this is our proposal, this is what we're building. I'm trying to make these as educational as possible. So these guys that are coming in for interviews, they got to teach you something. You as a viewer are going to get something out of all these interviews, not just a shill about their proposal. So please do check out these ones, changing the format up a bit so that you guys benefit better. Now, also something that you guys can benefit from is the YouTube channel's membership. These are all the YouTube channel members that I have, not just subscribers. Subscribers are fantastic, and if you haven't yet hit that like button and press subscribe, please do. Always helps with the videos. But these are members. These are members that are paying for a monthly subscription at the moment. What you guys get as members is early access to all of these videos, tutorials, and everything else that I put out. You get at least a day access at at the moment before other people do. Some of these news updates, it's about 6-12 hours or so. So you get to get the alpha, you get the news before everyone else does. So anyone that has become a member and bought me a monthly coffee, thank you. Appreciate you guys so much. These are the current members that I have. Not too many, but I appreciate every single one of you. This next news story here is around Mehen. So Mehen are doing USDM, the stable coin for Cardano. This was a follow-up post around the update of the delay of USDM. So people have been wondering, why has USDM been delayed? And in Guy's video from Coin Bureau, he mentioned that USDM was supposed to launch in December 2023. It's now January 2024. Where is it? So a straightforward explanation was needed to try and calm the community and get a better understanding of where things are at. I'll go through the Medium post here for you guys so you have a better understanding. But the TLDR is basically there are some security improvements that they could do and some future proofing of the protocol. So they wanted to make sure all that was in the launch so that when they do some upgrades or things in the future, they are ready for it. So the news proposed launch date is March 16th, 2024. So still Q1. Hopefully we do see that and everything is smooth for this phase of development for them, this last final phase. So let's have a look at these changes in detail here. And I'll go through these quickly so you don't need to go through the article, but please, I encourage you to read it so you get a better understanding of what Mehen's trying to provide. So they wanted to be as transparent as possible in this protocol, but then also as flexible as possible so they can do certain things. This includes changing parts of the protocol, such as the reserve oracle, without changing the policy ID of the token. So they're using Charlie 3 at the moment as their reserve coin oracle. So Charlie 3 would have a look at the amount of USD in their bank account and then allow that amount of USD to be minted on chain. Now, in the future, what happens if they need to upgrade to a different version of Charlie 3? Maybe they want to change the different oracle provider or use multiple different oracle providers to make their platform more robust. So in doing that, they needed to upgrade their protocol to do so. So they've made some changes. They can rotate signing keys, be able to transition to different versions of oracles or different oracles altogether, multiple different oracles. And they thought this was a good idea. Now, flexibility was a strength, but also a potential attack vector. So you can imagine all these moving parts, something might be missed, and then a really good hacker would be able to find a point where they could hack the protocol because of that level of flexibility. If they made it rigid and unchangeable, then maybe there wouldn't be that many type of vulnerabilities. But the Sunday Labs team did find and point out some potential weaknesses there. So if they left these potential vulnerabilities in their design unaddressed, could have significant implications for the stability and the reliability of USDM. And being the only native stablecoin on Cardano, you do not want that to happen. Now, I thought this was an interesting security mechanism that they wanted to implement here, and this is that latency of the watchdog mechanism. So making a time delay in any of the changes of the protocol would allow the community to be alerted and get an understanding of what on earth is going on. So you can imagine if they change the oracle provider of Mehen, so suddenly they have a lot more USD in their account, so they just go ahead and mint it before the community knows, then dump it on the market and make a big cash out big that way. So now there's that time delay mechanism within the protocol. So now if anyone is making those type of changes, the community would have ample amount of time to see that protocol change and go, hey, something's going on here. We can react to this. So that's really cool. So if someone manages to hack the protocol itself, make a change, they'll see that up here and be able to react accordingly. The other change here that they also did was the upgradability of the USDM token. So Plutus V3 will be coming out hopefully sometime this year with lots of optimization and changes, and being able to also possibly change the token to be governed by a sidechain, all sorts of different things. So they wanted to make this token as flexible as possible. So a lot of upgrades are being added in there to have that level of flexibility and security. So in knowing all this, they had a choice. They could either launch in December and say, hey, there's some issues, we need to address them, and we'll do it in a V2. That will cause some token fragmentation because they may need to upgrade policy IDs and all sorts of things. Or they could hang back, wait a little bit longer, get all those things sorted, and launch with a smooth process. So that's the approach that they decided to take, hence the delay of the launch of USDM. The article then goes through a little bit more around the multi-signatures, time delay mechanisms, and the enhanceability and upgradability of the tokens and potential new things within the Cardano ecosystem. If you're interested in getting into more of those details, links down below for you in the show notes. And thank you to the Mehen team for putting out that post and announcement. It's really good to see and understand all the development processes that you're going through. Now, this is probably the big news story in the Cardano ecosystem, and this is around Axo. Axo launching an order book decentralized exchange on Cardano with programmable swaps. And I think this is an absolutely amazing DApp within the Cardano ecosystem. And I really think eventually, over time, more people will be attracted to this once the token price stabilizes and people start using the platform. They'll be absolutely amazed. And I'll show you a little bit about this in a moment. But today, Dave here said he bought 0 Axo. And you know, with a lot of these token launches, anything that is launching on any chain, you usually see that massive FOMO price, the really high price of everyone trying to get in, get those tokens early so they can be holding them. And then over time, or even right after, the token price dumps. And this was no exception. You could see here, this person, Viva La Coin. I haven't jumped into Axo LSE yet, the liquidity seed event yet, but see some brutal overpayments on my feed because people aren't well versed with setting orders. And I have to agree, it was confusing for myself even though I went through the testnet, even though I did videos on it, I didn't remember what I was doing and how it actually worked. It wasn't really clear. But I worked it out in the end, and you can watch that live video, links down below as well. But here, someone set an order for 50,000 ADA for 1 Axo. So they were not understanding the interface or what they were doing. They were thinking, I'm assuming, they were thinking they were using 50K ADA and swapping all that for whatever Axo was on at the moment. But at the very beginning, they were just letting users set their potential buy orders, setting the price that they want to buy at. And that wasn't being fulfilled at that point in time. It was just allowing people to set the orders in. This is an order book deck, so you can set your limit orders at whatever price you want for the amount of tokens that you want. And this user did not understand that. The memes that are going out are brutal. 25,000, you can buy a car. So 50,000 ADA at 50 cents, it's 25,000 roughly. So you could buy a small car, a decent family sized car for that. Or you can buy 1 Axo token. And someone did. I'm sorry that has happened to you. All right, and now we also see things like this. So this was in the Axo Discord server. Let me just zoom in so you can see this. This user, what does this mean? I got 1 for 160. Yes, that's right. You put in a limit order priced at 160 ADA, out went 160, and in came 1 Axo token. So the way that you set up your limit order, you resulted in you getting 1 Axo token. Now, it wasn't all doom and gloom. There were users that did get their orders in correctly and setting their limit orders. Here we go. I'm impressed with Axo. I set some orders to buy some Axo for 20K ADA. The ADA is still working for me in my stake pool of choosing. Having the option to generate income plus decentralizing the network during the time of the order to execute is genius. And I have to say that is absolutely brilliant. More protocols are doing this as well. So if you don't understand this, when you're interacting with Axo and some other dexes at the moment, you can lock that ADA in a trade in the smart contract, but the delegation of that ADA that you just used stays with the stake pool that you're at. So if you're delegating to ADAOZ, my stake pool, but then started doing trades on Axo, you'll still be earning the delegation rewards to your wallet, while also having those orders open on the DEX. I thought that was a brilliant design and absolutely fantastic. So I've got, from my wallet, I'm delegating to a pool called OTG, and I have orders open on the Axo DEX, but that ADA is still delegated to that pool, still helping that pool mint blocks. So absolutely brilliant design. Now, this is the other really cool thing about it, and this is the strategy builder and some of the strategies that you can implement, the algorithms that you can implement on the DEX itself to really optimize your trades. Now, this is a little hard to see. I will zoom in a little bit here so you can see it a little bit better. So here we can see this flowing from the left to right. Hopefully you can see this, but the ADA goes in, we've got a drift. I don't understand what this drift is, but it looks like an if or statement here, if else statements. So if D is greater than 0.75, maybe that's the price or ADA, I'm not too sure, then it does certain things here. It goes through all these take profit algorithms. So it's going through here and taking profits against all these tokens that might be in the user's smart contracts. Otherwise, use the ADA at 75% of it and buy these certain Cardano DeFi market caps, and then use another 25% of it to do something here. I can't see exactly what it's doing. I don't know if it's a buy or a sell. Then here, if the D is less than 0.75, buy JED, so buy stablecoin. So that's protecting the user's profit. So this is the power of Axo and what you can program in there. We're going to see a lot of these type of strategies come into play, and these strategies are exchangeable. So from what I understand, from what someone told me, this strategy can be minted into an NFT and can be traded or copied to other strategy playbooks in other users. So this is absolutely powerful, and this is why I'm really excited by Axo itself. When more people see this and realize the potential of this, and maybe we'll start seeing cross-chain interoperability with this as well, I think it's going to be a massive game changer for the DeFi ecosystem. Automating this, just putting one asset in ADA and then having all the other assets that you might be interested in trading based off a mathematical formula that is set up in the beginning, absolutely amazing. But let's have a look at setting a limit order so you don't get yourself stuffed up in this process. So on the left-hand side here is where you need to set your order. Now, the very first input box here is the amount of ADA that you want to spend in this limit order. So let's say it is 20 ADA that you want to spend at this point in time. Now, the next one here is the price in ADA that you want to buy Axo for. So if you go 20 ADA, the order might get fulfilled because at the moment we can see the sells and the buys here. This order will get filled and I will get an Axo token, but that's not the price I want. This is way too high. So I can put something a lot lower, 0.05, and I'll work out how many Axo tokens I will get. This in this case, from 20 ADA at the price of 0.05, I'll get 400 Axo tokens. Will that get filled at the moment? No, it won't. If you look at the order book here, you got the sell orders at the top here. You can see where the orders meet. This is the current price of Axo at the moment. It's 17.375 ADA. It's got a slight spread here of 1.4, so that's the difference between the sell and the buy orders there. They're fighting against each other to try and find the price of Axo at the moment. So that's the price. If you set your orders at this sell price here, if you click on that, it would get that price in. This order will be fulfilled and I will get 1.149 Axo tokens. So that's where it's at the moment, and that's what you need to do to actually set a limit order. So what I'll do here is I'll change this price back to 0.05, and I will click on buy Axo. Now this will give me a summary of what I'm actually doing. So read that carefully to make sure it's doing what you want it to do. So the amount of ADA I'm using is 20, price at 0.05 ADA, total I'll get to 400 Axo tokens. Now you have to add some extra credits in here. So it's extra ADA that will be used to transfer tokens and assets and sit in the smart contract. You do get some of that back as well. You also have a minimum deposit and then transaction fees all in there. And you can get a breakdown of those transaction fees. Now I'm going to click on confirm. Make sure you check your transaction, make sure it looks right. So that looks all okay to me. You can also have a look at the metadata behind it as well to make sure that it's doing what you want it to do. So it's very obvious there. And then you can sign that transaction. There we go, order submitted. So that would take a little bit, a couple of seconds to appear in my order list down below. On the bottom here, you can see all of the other orders that I have placed in at the moment. They're all at very low prices. This is more of the price I'm looking at to buy these Axo tokens. There we go, my last orders come up. So I may hit it when it hits down, drops down to this. I do suspect the market will level out and drop to one of these lower prices at some point in time. It may be in 5 or 6 months time when more of the tokens are in the ecosystem. So we'll see how this one goes over time. I'll revisit it. If you want to learn more about Axo, its strategies and building algorithms, I have a playlist for it. Links in the top right hand corner there, where you can follow that playlist and learn a little bit more about Axo and how to use those trading strategies. Now, a few more news stories for you guys. This one is from Newm, and they have reached a milestone where they now have artists going through their platform, minting their music and selling and allowing community to be part owner of their music rights. So this is absolutely brilliant. So now when these two music artists here, we've got 687 and Nido from the Cardano community, anytime their music gets played on Spotify or one of the streaming platforms out there, these artists will get music royalty rights. Those rights won't just go to them because they would own some of the tokens, the tokenizations of their music rights, but you, if you're one of the token holders, will own some of that as well. You will earn some of that as well. So absolutely brilliant. That is so cool to see Newm reach this milestone point. Now, this other thing here that Ryan put out, this was really cool to see. I want this to sink into people. This artist just gave away part of his streaming royalty income to a fan. He's more than a fan. You can't do this with other DSPs on Web 2. So that is absolutely amazing. This is a new era for streaming music rights. I can't wait to see this get more mainstream adoption and seeing more platforms out there and more artists start signing up and using this. This integrates into Spotify and all the other platforms like that. It's not competing against them, it's working with them to distribute those music rights and let the fans have ownership of the music, be a part of the music economy with the artists as well. Amazing. Congratulations to the Project Newm team. Now, this is from Iagon. Iagon, I did a video overview of them a little bit earlier. You can check out in the playlist as well, or link in the top right-hand corner for you guys. But Iagon had launched their decentralized file storage. Really cool platform. If you want to be a storage provider, you can, and you can earn some of their tokens to create that passive income. But you can also use that to store your files. So I've subscribed to their service and I can store my video files, etc. Oh, not quite the video files yet. We're waiting for a little bit more space. But you can store all your files on there, photos, whatever it is, documents, securely in a Web3 way. So really cool. Now, the last time I saw an update from them, they were at, I think, 100 or so terabytes of storage. Now look at this. They're at 1 petabyte of storage in 16 days. That's a massive amount of growth from the community coming in and providing nodes and providing storage space. So they're up to 179 nodes now in 35 countries, 119 cities. This growth outpaced many in the sector, highlighting a unique position of decentralized storage. So absolutely amazing, guys. Congratulations, Iagon, for reaching this type of milestone so quickly. Now, this question here that Dr. Navjit asks, question, if a large enterprise want to partner with Iagon, is it seen as centralization or adoption? I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm excited for it. If it's a large enterprise, this is the type of thing that the Cardano ecosystem is looking for at the moment. I've read in a lot of my comments, what's Cardano doing? Where are these big partnerships? Where is all of the adoption? Where is it? This is a prime example of a brilliant product being released in the Web3 space, and now enterprise organizations just going, hey, that's the shit that I want to be a part of. I'm going to use that and be a part of this ecosystem. And they're coming in now. So we got Newm, which is doing a brilliant job in the music industry. We got Iagon in the decentralized storage space, and we have Book that are doing some amazing things in the decentralized ownership of books, the digital ownership of that, taking away market share from giants such as Apple Books or Amazon. So can't wait to see them take it further and do some amazing things this year. Overall, very exciting 2024 for Cardano and the whole blockchain space in general. Now, this is my last news story here, and I thought this was pretty cool. I'll leave you guys with this one. This is from Starforge OTG, one of the stake pools that I delegate to, even though I'm a stake pool operator myself. I could be delegating to mine, but I'm helping with decentralization and supporting OTG pool here. So they got a tornado warning in their area, and their stake pool is unique because their stake pool is in their RV. They have an RV that they can drive around, a motorhome for non-US viewers, and they drive around with their stake pool in there. They've incorporated it into their RV, runs on solar, runs on Starlink. So absolutely amazing. And he got this tornado warning and thought, do I get out of here so I can ensure that my stake pool is continuously minting blocks, or do I go tornado block on chain? I think he's going for tornado block on chain. Now, this is his RV here. If you haven't seen it, let me just play this so you get an understanding and an idea of what he's done. Yeah, how cool is that? How absolutely cool is that? That's the nodes. He runs it on a few Mac Minis. So this is the router. That's a cooling fan. I think this is I don't know what that is. I can't tell, but I know he's got a whole bunch of Mac Minis that help run the whole thing. So he's got his relays and everything else around it, the power banks, the supplies, the inverters, everything is completely off grid. That's the Starlink thing at the top there. There it is. That's his setup. So absolutely amazing. Good luck, OTG. With the tornado, please stay safe. If it gets too hairy, please get out of there. A tornado block isn't worth your life or the destruction of RV. So good luck, and hopefully you're all okay. That is it for me for this Cardano news update. All the links and references down below for you guys. Thank you for everyone that's watched my latest React style videos. I think they're going really, really well. If you haven't seen them, I did a React video to guys from Cardano, Coin Bureau. A guy did a video overview of the Cardano ecosystem over the last year. He missed out a couple of things, so I thought I would fill in the gaps there. And also a video from James from Invest Answer that talks about Cardano's 7 transactions per second. Just had to correct a few things there. So please check out those videos. They're doing quite well at the moment. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you give me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click that notification bell. Lots of Cardano stuff on this channel. Obviously, I am a Cardano maxi. I will admit it. I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano.